how's it going? Yes, Israel is the problem. I've come to that conclusion after much thought, after much thinking, after much plundering, after much reading. This country, right here, is the problem. Yes. What would the Jews would stop fighting back when they're being attacked by people who swore that they want to kill them? Silly Jews, fighting and defending themselves. Who do they think they are? Anyway, yes, Jews are the problem. We will always be the problem if we keep surviving. Despite 2,000 years of off and on, sort of maybe could be probably using church history, or a church that isn't a Christian church in the first place, telling the Jews to go away, and spending a lot of time and effort telling us to go away when we started it. We started the church about that. I have done much research. I have done much studying. I have pondered. I have pondered this book. The Bible. The Bible. Anyway, I have done my research. I have done my research, and I have found the verses that prove that God gave up on the Jews. I'm now going to go find them. Wait a minute. Let's first go to Jeremiah. As I find Jeremiah. Jeremiah. Let's see. Jeremiah 31. 30. I'm just going to refind them. Let's try to find them anywhere. Let's see. Let's see if Adonai, the Lord, who gives the sun as light by day, fixed the order of the moon, and the stars as light by night, who stirs up the seas and waves roar. Adonai, and I can't say that last part, it's not Hebrew. It's his name. Adonai, I do not, Lord. Only if this fixed order departs from me before me, it is the declaration of Adonai. Then also my Israel's offspring cease from being a nation before me. Oh, wait a minute, I thought that he was rejecting them. Interesting. For all time, thus says Adonai. Only of him above can be measured, and the foundation of the earth. He searched out beneath. Then also will I cast off the offspring of Israel, for they all have done, for all they have done declares the Lord. I thought that Jews were no longer important to God. I thought he got rid of them. I'm just going by what some people tell me. People who know and never read the Bible. Let's see, let's go to Amos 9:15. Let's move on to somebody else who might change my mind. You never know. Those pesky Jews surviving the Holocaust, 2,000 years, Gentile, whatever you want to call it. Actually, I don't call it Christianity. I just call it, it's religiosity, it wasn't Christianity. Let's see, Amos 9:15. I like this Bible. It's very Jewish, very Hebrew. Let's see, 9:15. Find it. The letters are very small, so I have a hard time finding the verses. Where's my? Yes, I'm reading now. Yes, I will plant them in their land, and they will never again be plucked out of their land. But they're back. They're in their land now. They got back. May 14th, 1948. God had given them, and God has said it. So basically, God contradicted himself and told a lie when he said, I will not forsake them. Yet I keep being told by replacement theology, I might add, that he gave up on them. He didn't give up on them. If you're getting my point, I'm being sarcastic. I know sarcasm is a little too much for some people. Believe me. Instagram is an interesting place, people. It's a scary place. Never read so much replacement theology claptrap in my entire life. Look, another verse will tell me the Jews were given up on. Let us find Zechariah. Because, so far I'm having a hard time finding that particular verse of God saying, get out of here. I'm sure it's here somewhere. I just have to keep looking. Zechariah 12, 12, 2 to 3. Well, this is something else, but we'll read it anyway. Let's see, 2 to 3. 2 to 3, not 10. Sure, nothing's right. He said to me, these are the horns that have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. Then Adonai showed me 4 craftsmen and asked, what are these coming to do? He answered, these are the horns that too is not. However, replacement theology really needs to see this backstory. Close it again. Let's see. Go to the right. I'm having a hard time finding this Bible. Relatively new and the pages are sticking together. Let's see. Let's see. 12. Little letters, little numbers. One right behind. Ah, behold, I will make Jerusalem the cup of wheeling in all the surrounding peoples when they besiege Jerusalem as well as Judah. However, in that day I will make Jerusalem a massive stone for all the people. All who tried to lift it up, it will be cut to pieces. Nevertheless, all the nations of the earth will be gathered together against me in that day. It is the declaration of Adonai. I will strike every horse with confusion, and its rider with madness. I will keep my eyes on the house of Judah, but avoid every horse of the other peoples. They believe the Judah will sing in their hearts, the heavens of Jerusalem are their strength, and Adonai is their God. I still can't find where it says God got rejected the Jewish people. Now, there's somebody out there. Oh, so you're not going to be able to prove it. Of late, I've been dealing with a lot of placement theology on Instagram, and I'm sorry, you people are wrong. You don't like Jews. You don't like Jerusalem. You don't like Israel. You don't like anything. You are yours. I've been told this. They actually have in their bios Christ is king. And I'm thinking, you know what else they have in their bios? I hope Hamas finishes the job. You people have issues. Anyway, nowhere in the Bible does it say that God is ever going to give up on Israel or Jews. He never has, and he never will. That's not what he does. Yes, I got arrogant. But you know what? Maybe God just didn't get the memo when the church decided that, well, they don't need Jews anymore. Really? I'd like to know what is written. I'm still waiting. I have been attacked and accused and called names and everything else under the sun, but I've yet to have it proven to me that God was rejecting the Jews. See, the Jews are the problem. I wasn't kidding when I said it. They are the problem. The Jews are the problem. You know why we're the problem? Because we refuse to die. We refuse to cease the people. We were supposed to basically disappear about 2,000 years ago. We just refuse to do that. Meanwhile, we have knuckleheads in governments and in groups and free this, that, and the other groups, and you all look ridiculous. You all look like you're putting on theater performances. A lot of you do. A lot of them. I've looked at a lot of these videos online. I watch them on Instagram and other places. It's theater, a dangerous theater, a destructive theater, a theater of hate, a theater of just blind obedience to a cult of Islam and politics and socialism. You're never going to show me in the Bible where it says that God gave up on Israel. He didn't. The church is not Israel. The replacement theology is heresy. Replacement theology is not in the Bible. Replacement theology is unscriptural. I mean, I've been reading, I forgot to bring the books over here. I would recommend 2 very good books on the subject of the destructiveness of replacement theology and Christian Palestinianism, which is somehow the Palestinians will. It's very convoluted. But, I've read 3 verses, 3 scriptures, once I found them properly. But Gotta tell me that God has no intention of ever giving up on Israel. Israel has its separate destiny as the church, but in the end, they both meet at the same place. Now, the thing about the new covenant is they replacement theology seems to want to convince me that somehow that the new covenant replaces Israel with the church. Well, that's nonsense because it doesn't. The Apostle Paul didn't preach that. Nowhere in the scriptures is that going to be taught. And I know someone keeps popping up. That's my video. These two books, where are they? That one. These are very good books. You want to understand what the replacement theology is, and you want to understand what it's doing to the church. The church is destroying itself on so many different levels. It's also becoming the enemy of the Jews. It's becoming the enemy of the very people who brought the Messiah here in the first place. Replacement theology is heresy. It is not biblical. It's never been biblical. It's never will be biblical. So yeah, Jews are the problem. There are very simple reasons why the Jews are the problem. Because if the Jews still exist as the same people, that means their God probably still exists, and that bothers people. I know they like to say, well, those Jews aren't the same Jews, they're different Jews. No, they're Jews. The Jewish people have kept going for a long time. Why? Because God has kept them going for a long time. But anyway, I don't want to go on my ramblings. But I tried to find verses that told me the replacement theology is correct, and I keep finding verses that keep telling me it's not correct. Israel isn't complicated. And Canada, and France, and unfortunately England, and other countries wanting to recognize a state that never existed. Palestine has never been a state, a country, a kingdom, or anything. It was Judea and Samaria until the Romans changed it after the Second Rebellion. Hadrian. They changed it. The Romans changed the name from Judea to Samaria to Palestine. Actually, it's Syria, Palestina. It was either Palestinian Syria or Syria, Palestina. They're the ones who changed it. And the Bible scholars who still use the word Palestine, it just bugs me because they should know better. I think they can know better. Most of them just don't like Jews. Well, be honest. Be honest with yourselves, people. You don't like Israel. You don't like Jews. You really, really just wish they would go away. We're not going anywhere. You tried. You tried the last 2,000 years and you failed. And you're going to fail again. While you're running around screaming and ranting and raving and putting on your performances, attacking people who are not attacking you, speaking is not my first language. In Nevada, you have no idea what you are supporting. You people out there screaming for it. You are screaming for your own destruction. While you're out there fighting for a Handmaid's Tale, a fictional Handmaid's Tale, you're helping to create one. Because you're sheep. I'm sorry, you're sheep. You're in a cult. It's not a healthy cult. These people will turn on you because that's what they're for. Lie to the unbelievers. It doesn't matter. It's okay to lie. You think that when the Islamists are screaming death to this, that, and the other, you really think that they don't mean you? They're hoping you don't mean you. They're hoping you don't realize that they mean you. Because you're next. Sadly, you're next. But anyway, Israel is the problem. It always will be the problem. Because Israel exists. Israel is a symbol of a God the world is not like. That's the big reason why Jews are not liked. Jews are not liked because it's a representation of a people that supposedly God's supposed to have given up on. God had given up on them. They shouldn't be here. They should have gone extinct a long time ago. Excellent book. Very good book. Not a very good book. But, I may do another video on this eventually. Israel is the problem. Jews are the problem because we keep surviving. just keep surviving. Because God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has a plan for us. It's called Israel. It's called the future kingdom. And it's called the Messiah. But anyway, sorry, I've given you several verses. I will repeat them if I have to. The Jews aren't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Because God holds them in the palm of his hand. And as long as they're there, they aren't going anywhere. I remember that person that keeps coming and going. Hello? We'll be quitting it out in 2 seconds, by the way. So yes, Israel is the problem. Our do is we just keep going and going, serving, don't we? Yeah. I look it up, Zechariah 12, 2 to 3, Amos 9, 15, or Jeremiah. Let's see. It's my video, I can do what I want. I should have written that one down. I didn't write it down. That's my fault. Jeremiah. This Jewish Bible is written. The order is different. I'm not used to the order yet. And let's read Jeremiah 31, 34 to 36. 34 to 36. You can read those verses and then see it. Somehow that means that God gave up on them. You'll be doing pretty good. I said, I'm going down. Ever. But anyway. The screen's nice though. The picture's nice and clear. Hopefully when I post it, it'll be the same thing. Oh, by the way, I did want to put one thing. I had to take a picture of this. By the Christian martyr, John Hus. John Hus, 1369 to 1415. Seek the truth, listen to the truth, teach the truth, love the truth, abide by the truth, and defend the truth unto death. You can see that, read that. Let's see that over there. I'm holding it there, it's for some of my pocket. Tears aren't going anywhere. As long as there's a God in heaven. And as long as God keeps his promises, and he does, we're not going anywhere. Replacement theology is heresy. Sorry, but God did not give up on Israel. Alright, behave yourselves, people. Try to behave yourselves, because I certainly can't behave myself. I don't know how. Like, subscribe, comment, share, say something in the comments. I can see the person's still there again. It's fine. It's my flag. See, there's the problem. See that little country right there. There it is. Alright. I'll do another video, maybe about an hour or so, maybe less. See you later.